everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Venture Maidens. Oh my gosh, it's lucky number 13, everybody. 13 episodes of Venture Maidens. Wow. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's like just yesterday we played, or wait, just
was it
minutes ago?
Weird. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, hey, welcome. We're the Venture Maidens. We're a D&D actual play 5th edition show. We run a game set in a homebrew universe that is detailed in the Venture Maidens campaign guide, which is going to be out so soon as you're watching this video, which is incredible. But yeah, we are, we stream every other week, and then we convert this video into podcast versions that we publish on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else. I will say also, this is a very adult-themed stream, so we do swear a lot. There's a lot of violence. We have a general content warning for, body horror. So if any of those things aren't quite your cup of tea, this may not be the stream for you to watch tonight. But with that out of the way, gang, let's dive in. I'm excited. I'm stoked. We're fired up. So, hey, everybody. My name is Celeste Conowich, and tonight I will be your Dungeon Master.
I'm muted. Hello, I'm Katie.
Lucky 13.
I'm going to be playing the very sad your drow rogue.
Hello, I'm Nassim, and I'm in the room where it happens.
The room where it happens.
Oh.
I'm hiding my DM notes from Nassim because we're still recording in the same room because we've recorded back to back now.
That's right. And I'm playing your half-orc fighter, Fitonia Silvertail.
And I'm Sage, and I will be your not-so-beastly bard, Aoife Flannery.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no, strong little beastly heart,
though. Your heart is a beast. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so you may have noticed, if you're watching this video, Nassim and I are sitting next to each other because last episode, thank you for the bunny ears, podcast listeners. I'm just so poorly treated.
Abused.
Last week's episode and this week's episode, we actually recorded within mere hours of one another, within an hour of one another. Since we are here and we are streaming this basically as a pre-recorded episode, since Nassim is very cool and doing shows right now. This is us from the past talking to you in the future. So that is why we are pre-recording this episode. So that's why we're wearing the same stuff. And we're going to give the best recap that ever happened. So with that, you know what? Let's do it. Let's recap for the folks at home. What happened, you guys, last time on Venture Maidens?
It was like a tourist show.
Yeah.
We got to experience a new city. Well, new for Toni and Aoife. We went to Chasiana. Yay. It was fresh off of battling that sick fae, helping them out, getting that bell, that Corellan bell, lodged out of their throat. And Rook is still in bad shape, so we decided to go to Chasiana to get her some help. We parked our little chicken house, a couple hours outside of the town. Aoife and Lou decided to go bury the bell underneath a tree just outside the city, a little bit diagonal, and then we met up again as I carried Rook's limp, large body into the city and gondola'd our way towards Lou's family.
Yeah. And Lou, why don't you tell us a little bit about Lou's family? What did we find? What did we see?
So we got off the boat right in front of her family restaurant. It's called Bucatini. It's got Italia food.
Yep. Which is a province in our fantasy world. Fight me.
Yes. And essentially, Lou's family restaurant is a front for her family's under the table doings, sort of mafia style people are picking up on, but like we're like cool mafia, nice guys. So basically,
so they say. We're not, we don't know.
I don't know. Who's to say? But so we went up basically after we met Lou's mom, Frida, who's this like super hunched over, tiny little gnomish woman.
Halfling.
Halfling.
Yes.
Yes, halfling.
Yes,
you're
I
right.
said halfling.
No, you're right. I'm wrong.
Yes, halfling. Okay. I checked our Wikipedia.
I was supposed to do the best recap.
Damn.
Yeah, halfling woman. And she basically said, okay, of course, come in, everybody come in. And we all took Rook up to Lou's old room, which is just filled with like memorabilia of Lou's life all those years ago with her partner. And they were able to get Rook all settled, and talk to Frida, tell her what happened. And Frida, Lou's mom, is going to go get Rook the help that she needs in order to recover. And in the meantime, while we're here, forever how long we're able to stay, we decided that since Toni and Aoife hadn't been here before, we were gonna put on fancy hats and have a night on the town.
Heck, yes. Great. Did we want to talk a little bit about that flashback too at the very end?
Oh yes, kind of. I want to talk about. Kind of, my heart is broken. Yeah, and when Lou went back to her room, in just a quiet moment there, taking it all in again, she had a flashback of the last moment that she had seen her partner Jada, and Jada had been about to go out on a voyage to do some fencing, basically. And it was just supposed to be a quick little thing, just 1 month, and then she'd be back. Lou didn't want her to go, and after some back and forth, Lou ended up getting proposed to by the love of her life, and they had a beautiful moment, and then curtains kind of closed on that, as that was the last time she ever got to see her.
When you say fencing, do you mean like
as a fence, like
as
somebody who takes illegal goods and sells them somewhere else?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
not like literal, but she also was a sick pirate, so like fought with
rapier definitely there.
Okay.
Like
so both maybe. Who knows?
Yes,
but as a fence was her sort of role.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, great recap, everybody. It's like we just did it. Good job. Yeah, so that is where we are picking up. You all have successfully arrived in the Eldrin Empire now. You have left the wilds far behind, gone back to this world that you all are much more familiar with than the chaos and strangeness of the Fae, and landed in Chasiana, which is the largest city in the Eldrin Empire, certainly the richest city. And you had wound your way through the familiar streets with Lou guiding you all the time, since she had spent so long here before leaving for the front and meeting all of you. And you had made your way to Lou's family restaurant. And so here you are, safe and sound. Now Lou's mom is looking out for a few things for you, including getting some medical attention for Rook, and then putting her ears to the ground basically about Whistler and seeing if there's anything she can do to give you all some leverage there. It had also been mentioned too, you were in the city looking now for ingredients for this ritual, and you're not exactly sure where to start there. But you have heard that Lark, so Lou's sister, whom you haven't met yet because she's actually been working her shift at this new nightclub called Club Soul. Apparently her boss is somebody who knows a lot of what's going on in the city and has quite the reputation for getting things that are odd or maybe not strictly legal. So here you are in Lou's family living room, gluing little flowers and decorations to your fancy hats in preparation for going out later in the evening to Club Soul. So yeah, why don't you all you guys set the scene for me? What is this? What is this chaos in this living room?
Oh my god, Mom's gonna kill me. I think we're all kind of like scattered across this enormous dining room table, just mess all the way down this table for like 12. And Lou's pretty much got her hat done. I think she's like pretty efficient when she focuses in on things, being a virtuoso. So I think she's just kind of like finished her design. And after she had come back from her room, she just kind of is hovering around, like letting you guys do your thing, but picking up all around you, kind of red in the face.
Yeah. What are you two doing? Crafting your hearts out? Or there's also like tons of pasta and bread and like big antipasta salads and just everything you could ever imagine. The dream of the Italia selection has been delivered up. Every once in a while, some wide-eyed, wait staff from downstairs bring yet another course of food. And this latest round has been some like cannolis stacked high in like a pyramid, just oozing, whipped cream and chocolate chips.
So good.
So, Lou, how does one become a part of the family? I really like it here.
I mean, people generally marry into families. I mean, if mom adopts you, like I didn't have a place to go, so she adopted me like forever ago. I mean, how would you join a family?
Totally normal family. How would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, this didn't seem like the most traditional kind of a family with, I don't know, all these connections we seem to have. But I don't know if I could I just want to get to know Frida. I like that. I like that lady.
That's how
That's a good
she's
person to
just
know.
created this just insane web of connections because she's the best.
So
And she's been here
is Lou,
forever.
like, intentionally trying to glaze over what her family is, or does she really believe the things she's saying? Like, oh no, it's just,
She's glazing over.
Okay.
She's just trying to, because people hear about what things are and then they have this idea of like mafia,
Right.
and she's like, oh, I don't want that stigma, like, sort of thing.
No, I'm sure Mafia don't hate the stigmas about them. Are you kidding me? Can I make like an insight to see just how obvious it is that they kind of do some shady stuff?
Okay. I mean, Lou, if you're actively trying to hide it, why don't you go ahead, Lou, and give me a persuasion, and then, Toni, you can roll an insight. But this is the one we're gonna do, just to kind of set the standard here.
Oh God, I got 8.
Oh yes, you're not a charisma rogue. I suddenly remember.
I got a big fat brain, but it doesn't tell me how to get what I want through talking.
I got a 9.
Wow, you guys suck at talking to humans. I'm so glad Aoife is here.
We're both very awkward.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's your very natural reactions you two have had as players right now, like dancing around it, where it's like, are you covering it up? Like, are you being truthful? Or like, do you really believe that is like what you're thinking of, Toni, as you're listening? And then Lou's like, no, I'm pretty sure she doesn't mean what I think she means, and I'm just gonna continue lying. And so both of you are unsure if either of you is telling the truth or not, and it's all very confusing. So I think it's about the same as we are with people. Right now,
I think that
I'll take that.
after a while, Lou just kind of like is like, so anyway, you've got to try mom's balls, and just like puts these 2 giant meatballs on a plate of just like towering with spaghetti.
Yeah.
Once you try these, you will know why people just fall in love with her.
Yeah. It's definitely the food. I mean, the food is really good. So maybe it is.
Well, as we're still making and crafting, or whenever everyone's ready to go out, in the meantime, Toni is making a bunch of little different collars and hats for Larry.
Larry.
Trying to put him in
Now
the different
Larry's got
settings.
charisma.
Oh yeah, and he has, of course, plopped himself right in the middle of all of the crafting supplies and all of the food. So
He's probably eating one of the meatballs.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And you're like, is that okay for a cat? But he's a magic cat, so maybe.
Guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll find out. Yeah, it's very awkward telling a cat no when you know they
Yeah.
used to be a person. So
Yeah, literally like sat at this dinner table together, had good times. What can you do?
Sage, is there anything we can do to help? Sorry, we're having some audio issues, gang. We are not sure. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I guess then, while you all are crafting and getting your shit ready, for the evening, I think you're doing this for an hour or so. When Frida comes back up, and again, more sauce just splattered all over her. Now some like green, maybe with pesto, has been added to the red, and she just she looks. Literally, her sleeves are rolled back, and there's just staining up and down her arms where she's been cooking, obviously, and running around downstairs. And she wipes her brow and looks at all of you and looks at the mess and goes, "Oh, not what I expected." But anyway, I've heard back a few things, from my friends. She says, and looks at you, Lou, like she doesn't know. Should I, Lou, do you want to come talk to me about it, or should I just...
I think, I mean, if it's regarding the situation we're all sharing, yeah, you can tell us what they said.
Sure. All right. Well, this healer, so we couldn't get our usual guy, but a friend of mine owes me a favor. So yeah, go ahead and Sage and log out, do your thing. All right. So yeah, so in this moment here, you all are sitting around the table, and Frida had just come back upstairs, and you say, yeah, sure, you can say anything to them in front of them. So she proceeds into, and she's like, well, I haven't heard back everything yet, obviously. Just initial reports about this Whistler guy. There's, that one's gonna take some time. Apparently, just a quick look, he's squeaky clean, but that never actually means much. Just from a cursory glance, if there's something, we'll find him. We'll find it.
Usually when things are too clean, it's because something's been cleaned up. So
exactly, I taught you well, kid. And like I said, our usual doctor isn't free, but I do have a favor from an ex-sister from Carleone, so she's going to be dropping by very soon here. You might even catch her on the way out. I'm not sure how bad your friend is, but that one might also take some time, realistically. Other than that, I sent a quick message over to your sister, and yeah, if you are looking for anything, this magic ritual or this list of ingredients, I mean, she says Mr. B is your guy. So
Mr. B, got it.
Yeah, her boss.
Okay.
So she even said she can arrange a meeting if you want to drop by her shift later. It looks like you all are getting all dolled up already, so I'm sure you'll just drive by there, later tonight when you're out and about on the town, and I'm sure we can get that all taken care of for you. How was everything? How was the food? You have some color in your face, and like taps your face. She's always touching people's faces. Just leans in. Aoife,
of course,
is all over your face.
Yeah, and Aoife's just like, oh my god, everything was so good. I can't believe it. I've never had food like this. It's just like everything is so rich and so full of herbs. It's you would like my grandma. You remind me a bit of her.
Oh, see, she's sweet. You can always bring her back anytime, Lou. And this one, how about you? Taps you, Toni. Waiting for compliments.
I totally know where Lou gets all of her talents now.
Oh.
Always from the mama.
Oh, you fibbers, and like slaps your hands delightedly. All right. Well, I gotta get back down there. Everything falls apart without me. Story of my life. But I'll see you all later when you get back from the club.
We'll be back tonight.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'll have those beds made up, and you don't all have to stay in your old room. Ubrin's out of town, so take over his room. You know, and you can always scoot Luck out of bed. She can share. No, don't let her give you any sass. She can share. You know, and Larry's old room. Of course, we've turned it into sort of a, well, there's a cot shoved in there somewhere. So if you got to get in there, there's plenty of space. Plenty of space. So. All right, mwah, and more kisses as she walks backwards out the door.
Thank you, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mom. Be thinking about you.
I love you all. She calls him down the stairs.
Oh, Lou is just like bright red, but she has like the biggest smile on her face.
Aww.
Oh, I love her.
So, Loopy, why don't you show us where we're going?
Okay, I'm gonna put my foot down right now. You're gonna cut that shit out. She's like got a pair of like scissors in her hand that she's pointing at you.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I've gotten a full meal out of that just yet. But
Oh my God. Mom. Okay, well, I'm just gonna ignore it and pretend it's not happening. So I think we got a little bit before like it's really nightlife time.
Yeah, so right now, yeah, it's late afternoon, so 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
You did have a lot of pasta.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay,
at least an hour before clubbing.
There's no way we're fitting into our dress.
Gotta wait for the bloat to simmer down
Yeah,
after all this
before you
carbs.
Squeeze into those little going out dresses. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Toni would be in some like high-waisted, wide-leg pants
ooh,
that, and then
hair and
like just
pants.
like a basic fucking tank top, crop top with it, and her hat.
Hell yeah.
That's her going out look right now.
It's good.
Lou probably is wearing like a turtleneck dress that still covers up her armor because her mama told her never go out not prepared. So she's got this like turtleneck dress on that's kind of like fit and flare and has these like draped sleeves around her arms, like a little bell style. She has on practical boots with it, but she is not look like she's ready for a club. She looks like she's ready for a picnic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Aoife is wearing a what would her club look be? Goodness.
Ooh, girl.
No.
Tell me, Aoife.
I think she has like a very sort of like shimmery gold dress on that is like really just like a couple of like slips layered over each other. It has like all these like different metallic textures and things, and she has this like silver shawl that she wears over top of it.
Cool. Ooh, silver and
So
gold.
glamorous.
Yes, with like the spider web pattern hat.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool as heck. Yeah, so you all are, getting ready luxuriously because you do have quite a bit of time before it's like proper clubbing hour. And as you all are, in the midst of getting ready, you hear a knock, not on the bedroom door, but at the end of the hall, like where the stairs are. And this one is a very gentle knock that isn't immediately followed by somebody storming into the room. So probably an actual visitor.
Lou kind of gets everything situated, puts her knife in her boot, and then kind of makes her way downstairs and cracks the door open.
Yeah, and you see a Eldrin woman standing there on the steps. She's got like kind of a pale lavender hair and like palish green skin, and she's wearing rough spun like black clothing. Very austere, very plain. Not at all like Eldrin fashion. It kind of reminds you of like the priests, the sisters of Caroliana, which is like almost a healing sort of convent to the south. And she's looking at you sort of meekly from the door and says, "Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Are you do you live here?"
Yes, and who am I speaking with?
Oh, my name is Charity, and I was sent looking for Frida, for a patient.
Oh, gotcha. Let me just find mom real quick and just make sure you're who she thinks she is. You are.
Was your mom the small woman and the very loud small woman in the apron? Because she just waved up and said, "Go upstairs." And I wasn't sure
Double
who
checks
that was,
anything.
or
Okay.
and
And like,
she's holding a very large bag that clinks with like mechanical instruments. You think?
okay. Well, come on. You can come follow me. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you can help her. We're at a loss.
Oh, sure. Well, I'll do my best.
And she'll escort her, well, kind of like sizing her up because she's still just like, who are you?
Yeah, sure.
And
I mean, do you want to get like an insight check to give me a
yeah,
read on her?
I'm good at those. That is, oh, I'm not as good at them as I thought I am. A 12.
Okay. So you're looking her up and down, and I mean, she seems like someone you might expect. I guess a doctor or a healer or something. She does seem pretty mild mannered and quiet, so maybe she was trained in, a monastery or something. It is also weird to you, I think, even with just the 12, you would see, like, she isn't actually wearing the uniform of the Sisters of Caroliona. And you can see now, too, her clothes are a little bit frayed on the edges. They're patched together. So this looks like somebody who's been through some hard times recently, or certainly doesn't have the funds to like actually maintain an appearance.
Yeah.
But she's also trying to look like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
very odd.
I think that Lou probably categorizes it as one of the people that the family helps out, who are good people who just need a fucking hand to get to where they need to be. So she'll ease up a little bit and be talking to her as she's going up. Like, we have lots of extra food. If you had to travel far, I can get you a plate of something.
Oh, I don't want to be an imposition. Your mother has
Oh,
already done so much for me.
no, it's fine. We don't want it to go to waste. That's bad. Right through here. And she'll like open the door.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, she steps through the bedroom door. And are Toni and Aoife anywhere nearby? Or are you all still upstairs?
I'm probably still playing with Larry.
Yeah. Fair.
I think Aoife would take the time to sit by Rook's side to make sure that nothing goes terribly wrong while she's just kind of mindlessly doodling.
Yeah. So yeah, you step in, and Aoife, you see this person, and as the woman steps into the room, she gives a sharp inhale as she looks at Rook, even from the door frame. How long has she been unconscious?
She woke up for a little bit, probably like half a day ago at this point.
And
It's
she's been out since then?
Yep, and she was out before that. We found her bleeding out. We did the best that we could, cure wounds, but we're just not professional healers.
Mm-hmm. And do you see you see she's already moved over to the bed and has basically ignored you too. And Aoife like pushes you out of the way, as she gets in there and looks, and is already starting to poke and prod in that way like a doctor does when a medical puzzle is presented in front of them. So you can see now, if you doubted it before, this woman is clearly trained in the medical profession, and she is listening to you and looking at Rook and poking and prodding. And what did this? And she waves an arm, like a hand at the shattered arm that is hanging limply on her side.
Hard to say. She went off by herself. Last we heard, she was going to handle some hags, so
Hags?
Who knows? Hags. Yes.
Fae?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Um, does she have any strange bites, marks, scratches, anything of that nature that I should be aware of? Is she missing
not
any teeth? Is she missing any hair, eyelashes, anything? Even the smallest detail could be very important.
listen, I didn't notice anything missing from her. I can tell you the one weird thing about her is that since we met her a few days back, she's been growing, like she's aging rapidly every single day. I don't know if that affects anything, but that's a condition you should be aware of. I don't know. I mean,
She was clearly knowing that that's what was happening to her, but she has never bothered to explain it to the likes of us.
Well, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm nowhere near as powerful as I used to be before everything happened, and, well, to be quite frank, I lost my faith for a while, and I haven't regained everything I once had. But I'm trying. But it sounds like quite a few things are wrong with your friend, and I'm afraid whatever this aging thing is, this is, if I had to guess, a curse of some kind. Magic certainly more powerful than I possess or could reverse. But I will try to heal that arm. I think I can do so and get her in as best shape as I can. If she is going to be aging, as you say, do you know when this transition happens?
I have to assume sometime at night. She doesn't really let us into her room, so
Then I will try to set the bones as quickly as I can, and potentially then maybe we can use this aging to our benefit. A year of healing in a night, that, well, I'll certainly do everything I can.
thank you. Seriously. It's good to have friends who can pick up where you left off when you have nothing left to offer.
It's good to see a patient that has people who care about them. That was a rarity with the people I worked with. So, it is a pleasure.
Well, do you need anything from us? Do you need any assistance?
I brought everything I think I'll need. I think now just time.
Okay. Well, I will get you started on that plate of food. I'm sure that you'll be hungry after a while, and if you need anything else, anyone downstairs will help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She nods and sort of waits for you to leave. And
Yeah.
like starts pulling things out of her bag, and you can see she's pulling out like magical implements, so like rituals a cleric would do. She is preparing for.
Aoife will hang out right outside of the door, like ready, just in case. God knows what happens.
Yeah, and you
She'll
hear,
post up.
Yeah, and you do post up, and you begin to hear prayers, litanies, prayers to the mother. So in this universe, the Eldrin at large have pretty much done away with a lot of other gods and simplified everything down to there's the father and there's the mother, and these are the two Eldrin gods who created all of Eldrin kind. And the mother, of course, is the one in Caerleon. Like most of the sisters there are trained to revere the mother and draw their power here, and so those very familiar prayers. I guess Aoife, you would know about them, but it is a little bit strange because you grew up in, you know, the valley with the elves who do not prescribe to that, like, that two god system, which seems very foolish to most of the elves, and I think a lot of people probably made fun of that system from where you were from. These are prayers certainly you didn't hear a lot. There aren't a lot of Eldrin where you grew up, so I guess it's a little strange. It's like hearing a Catholic sermon, you know, when you've grown up in a mostly, like, non-religious household. You're like, wow, this is arcane and strange. You know. But that's when
Yeah.
you hear the dull rhythms of those litanies, those prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll continue on. So she's basically going to be casting ritual spells, so that's going to take hours. So I think Aoife, you can stick around, 45 minutes to an hour, and nothing weird happens. Honestly, you just hear like some smells come out, and Lou does deliver some food, and it really does just look like this woman like praying by bedside. Candles have been lit. Some herbs have been scattered across the room. Yeah.
Eventually she'll make her way back towards everyone else and sit in something more comfy and kind of look around to see how she can kind of make herself useful around the house.
Yeah, it's this weird moment after so much action and adventure and like having to do so many things in so many order. It's kind of weird being in a house that like runs by itself and everybody's really busy and everybody has a place, and the three of you are just like sitting on these stuffed comfy couches, with a big ass cat, and you're like draped across all three of you. Not needed.
So, guys,
It's like when you go home for the holidays. It's just like,
yeah.
what do I do? Yeah.
We've made our craft. It's cleaned up.
Yeah.
Like, we're full. Like,
Nothing's
Lou's
trying
like-
to stab you. Like, what
Yeah.
a weird.
Yeah, slowly getting a little bit stir crazy.
Yeah.
Tony takes out her guitar to try and like get a little bit off her mind, or maybe she didn't bring her guitar. She was
Probably
carrying.
not. If she was carrying a whole
Yeah.
body, that'd be pretty big.
Yeah.
But it's like an old family home, so I'm sure there are, 6 or
There's
7
something
out
around.
of tune guitars and a
they've
ukulele.
become wall
She
decor,
grabs
you know?
something off the wall,
Yeah.
starts
Yeah.
laying back, trying to get it in tune. Because, this is kind of the first moment of stillness in a while, and she can't help but get the thoughts of the dreams she had of that Fae woman. Because, like, she hasn't had very many intimate moments with people like that. So it's kind of stuck on her brain now that there is this quietness, and she's very much trying to shake it out of her mind and excited to go out and do something about it.
Nothing like a girl's night to clear out
Mhm.
the head. Well, I didn't. That's great playing, Tony. Did you? Was it like a taught by your family thing? Did you self-taught?
Yeah, I mean, my dad always collected instruments. They were always around the camps, and I always just pulled whatever one had strings attached to it. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, but yeah, I think it sounds good too. Thanks.
Maybe when Lark is done with work at some point, you guys can have a little duet. I think that'd be really fun for the family.
I'll accompany. Certainly not a singer.
Well, I don't think any of us in this house are either. So,
But
she
they
will
sure do try.
appreciate it.
Sure
Yeah.
to try, especially after
More
a big
than
bottle
Lark
of
would
fake
like.
Chianti. Yeah.
I imagine this family knows how to party. If anything, they can dance.
Yes, we can. I mean, not me, but like other people. I mean, do you guys? Seems like there's nothing that we can really do here to help anymore. Do you want to take a look at Chasiana before the club opens up?
Yeah. I'd love to.
Okay.
And as they walk, Tony notices every attractive person. She's like, ooh, you're fine. Ooh, you're fine.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh, interesting.
Something is stirred
Something
within
is a
her.
stirring.
Oh.
Something is thirsty.
Whoa.
Woo!
New objective: get Tony
She's feeling
some.
twirly.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, so I think you probably, Lou, have time for like 3 spots, not like a full sit down meal or anything, but like,
No,
you
we're
know,
so
you,
full
you
already.
could get like a coffee somewhere, visit a shop somewhere, or do something, and kind of wander that way over, because this is in like the high end nightclub part of town where like
Mhm.
people like the best, cool new restaurants that are like pushing the edge, and like new nightclubs, and like the best theater in town is like in that district. So as you're beelining your way over there, what are your 3 picks that you show to your friends?
I think that it's less of her favorite things and more of things that she knows people have mentioned this is great that the two of them would like. So I think they'll first hit up like just a very beautiful weapon shop where every like hilt, like there's no plain weapons in sight. Every hilt is just to the nines, personalized like colored leathers and to hold on, like gem encrusted, beautiful metalwork, and everything you could imagine. And she brings Toni up to that. She's like, okay, I picked this place for you. I don't know you too well, but we're already going to get music later. I know you like that. But also swords.
Her eyes grow wide and starts to like hold them all up to her eye level and like see like how well balanced the blade is to the hilt and all that stuff.
Yeah. And like the Elgin behind the counter like watches you. It's like, you know what you're doing.
I've been playing with these guys since I was a kid. Since I was about this size, actually, holding the sword up.
Yeah. Well, that's refreshing. Most of the people who come in here have no idea what they're holding. Not only are our weapons beautiful, but they are fine weapons that can cleave any fey scum in half. Would you like to swing one around in the back? I have a special training room for folks who really get it.
Yep. I like what you're saying. Let's go.
Yeah, and he like opens up a door and you can see, it's just like a concrete training room, there's some dummies there that have like deep cut nicks in them from when people have like totally been testing the swords, and he's like, "My lady," and points.
Fuck yeah. Starts going wild with like sword in either hand, starts spinning around.
They're beautiful. Every sword you pick up like cuts like butter through these mannequins, and you're like, oh, you have never held or used a sword this beautiful in your life. In fact, these are like +1 magic weapons, which I don't think Toni has ever had the privilege of swinging. This is like,
how much do they typically run?
And he looks at you, he's like, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, these are quality. You've seen the quality. So what are we talking in terms of budget? We sort of start here, and he like motions at one wall. It's like in the 500 to 1,000 gold range. And then he looks at that and he's like, or, and then we get to obviously our 5,000 to 10,000, or we could go back to the 1,000 range, like kind of waving his hands across the store.
Why don't I gotta move some stuff around, and then we'll be speaking again. Yeah. Do you do any sharpenings? I certainly have. I have family treasure. It's my go-to. But...
Yes. In fact, I do also run an enchanting business on the side. So let me give you a card, and he flips like a gold encrusted card off. It also has like a big like sapphire rhinestone set into the card, and you're like, this card is probably worth a gold piece as he hands it to you.
Trying to test out the family power here, she goes, oh, beautiful. I mean, like, Frida did not disappoint when she recommended your store.
Oh, you're a friend of Frida?
Oh, yeah, actually.
Oh, well, I actually owe her a favor. So if you want to call that in sometime, you should have Frida just, you know what? Just let me know, and we'll get you set up.
Oh, okay.
And he winks at you.
Well, great, wonderful. What is your name?
Oh, my name is Reginald. Reginald's Rarities is my shop. Reginald's Rarities and the occasional enchantment. But, of course, you do have to make an appointment for that. I only hire the best. So if you're looking to glitter up that little heirloom of yours, why not give it a little edge? Make it a little bit magical. Especially if you're going to be out on the front these days, and who isn't, fighting the Fae. Most of them, are immune to just normal strikes from a standard blade. We could even get a little cold steel built in around the edges, really fuck those bad guys up.
Well, Reginald, you sound like the right man for the job, so I will certainly come by again before my way out.
Yes, yes. Well, I will be here. Eagerly awaiting that book. May I see it?
Sure, she has it.
Oh, do you have it? I mean, if you
assume,
don't.
yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, maybe during the day. Before we pop by the club, she'll drop it off. But for now, it's a nice little accessory.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, yeah, well, this is Clyde.
And he takes the blade, and you appreciate how gentle he is with it, because he can see you love it so much. So he handles it, and his balance is incredible. I'm not sure who made it. I'm not familiar with the work, but it is a strong blade. And hands it back to you. I could do wonders with such a blade.
Yeah, living off of just, Legion supplies and tools for maintenance it's just...
You're a soldier.
It's not the same.
Oh, well, God bless you. Everything you're doing out there, it's just keeping our country safe. Yes, you have Frida talk to me. We'll make sure you get something.
Indeed, Reginald. Thank you so much. Strong handshake.
Strong handshake,
Yeah.
and he salutes you.
Salute back.
Yeah.
Man, Aoife's so visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's like
This whole
crawling out of her
conversation
skin.
is like this dude just wants to murder Faye, and you're like, I'm a satyr. This is cool.
I'm just gonna leave.
Oh, he's
I
definitely
just
like
imagine
not
Lou and
looking
Aoife
at
in the
you.
background when
Yeah.
he's like Faye, Swill, or whatever he said, like ooh,
Face
no.
gum. Yeah, you
Ooh.
can cleave through face gum. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, when we get out of there,
Ugh.
Lou looks fucking pissed. Toni,
Yeah.
So stoked. Yeah.
What's up?
you cannot go around using my mom's name like that. She needs those favors for more important things than a sword. Is that clear?
All right. I mean, I'll have a little talk with Frida about it.
Okay. You can talk to her about it, but that's seriously not okay.
All right.
Anyway,
She's very casual about it still. She's like, okay. What's done is done, but all right.
she's just like looks back at you side eye. She's like, I don't want to bring down the mood, but seriously, if I ever fucking find out that you came back here without talking to Frida and you go get a sword and use up her favor,
All right,
There
calm
will be
down. I said I
problems.
talked to her, didn't I?
okay.
All right.
She just clears her throat. She's like, anyway, Aoife, I've got a place for you.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't like it when mom and dad are fighting.
Oh no.
She just like starts like walking with purpose down another street, and she is going to take Aoife to this storefront that just has dresses that are just works of art in the window, and she like grabs your arm and pulls you up close, and she's like, the Serena herself bought a dress from here once.
Oh my god, and she's practically fucking drooling on this glass in front of this shop, and it's just like heavy breathing, like, the Serena
Mm-hmm.
was inside here
Yeah,
and bought something.
the whole
That's-
city was practically shut down. Like this entire quarter, it was ridiculous. I mean, very inconvenient, but like now it's just like they are set for life. They will never want for anything because they have that under their belt.
Oh god, I could see why. Just look at those colors and look at how they use those different fabrics to that contrast each other, but they complement each other so well. And like, oh, just look at that cut. Oh god, I don't even know where they'd get material like that. And she's just like gushing.
You're not even in the store. This is like in front of the window, which is like, oh, sweet
And
summer
we'll, like-
child.
She just like makes herself like as small as possible, and is just like so humble, and is just like squeaks into this shop, just like wanting to touch everything, but trying so hard to contain her excitement.
Yeah. And then, yeah, immediately as you step in the door, there's a waft of like jasmine perfume that like overtakes you, that just the whole place smells incredible. And there, like any high-end store, there is very little merchandise that's actually in the store. There are a couple like display, dresses set up on mannequins, but mostly it's like a waiting area, and they have a few different counters where people are talking to customers, like taking customers back for fittings or custom orders. You see that there are also a few individuals with like sketch pads that are sitting there like talking to clients over like tea and cookies, like basically talking to these like stylists and designers, like putting dream outfits together. So as you step inside, this little tinkle of a bell rings, and the scent hits your nose, and somebody, an Eldrin woman in just like a prim black outfit, steps up to you all. Hello, welcome to the store. Do you have an appointment?
Oh no, we don't. We were just we're new in town. Lou here is showing us around, and knows that since I'm a designer and crafter,
really?
that I would love to see the amazing designs you have here.
Of course. Are you going to school here?
No, I've just left the valley up to the north, and but I love it
valley?
here. Oh yeah, could you not tell? She like gestures to her horns.
Oh, I mean, we get all types in Chasiana. I mean, this is the capital of fashion, quite frankly. All kinds of people come here, but it is rare to see someone from the valley. Did you study design there, or?
Me grandma, she's the famed inventor of the doily. I don't know if they've made it this far south, but that's her claim to fame.
Oh, interesting. Well, I can genuinely say I have no frame of reference for your experience, but if you are ever interested in studying, we do work with a few of the fashion institutes here. So, we have an internship program, so you should.
Her eyes.
Yeah, take a pamphlet. We're always looking for new ideas. You never know what is the next it thing, truly. And honestly, maybe getting something from the valley might be the next hit. But yeah, and she, I'll go off and look for something, but if you don't have an appointment, unfortunately, we can't let you in the fitting rooms. But you can look at our books, our sketches, our catalogs, things like that. And she waves a hand over to these stands that have like these gorgeous books just full of art and like portraits of, the fashion lines from year to year. So take some time and I'll be right back with that. Either of you looking for anything today, or just supportive friends? We get a lot of those here.
We are one of the many.
Indeed. Well, make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's already like nose deep into a book.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You all can leave if you want. It's just gonna be me flipping.
Let me just die here. Goodbye." Yeah, and she does come back after a while with like a little pamphlet that's basically, it's like the summer internship program, like, because again, Chasiana is a school like that is so art based and focused, because there's so much money here. A lot of people spend money on artists and invest in them, and like, so patronage is a huge thing here. So like fashion is no different. So this is like one of the cities to go to if you want to learn, and like, so yeah, you can look at this pamphlet, this internship program that they offer with several of the universities here, and
with cool. Deep care, she puts it into her bag to save for later.
Yeah, but yeah, you can look. They have so many. Every season of every year, they have catalog after catalog and like these huge collections of books. And I mean, you could be here for days. Just looking through everything they have.
Aoife, once we get this guy off our backs, you can come and roll. That'd be amazing.
Oh, I could think of nothing better. And then she very reverently like closes this, like this lookbook and puts it onto the coffee table. Just like, okay, we should go before I never leave.
We can come back another day.
Oh yeah. What's the last stop before now? Evening is starting to fall, and it's still, I mean, it's a balmy, perfect night. The nights here are warm and just lovely, and people have changed into their evening wear. You can see as people are heading off to dinner before their other plans, seeing shows, or it's just gorgeous. And every corner of this place just has arcane lights strung up, like Christmas lights everywhere. And the street lamps lit, and they're all like the rose gold of like sunset. And it's just fucking gorgeous city after dark.
I think that she probably takes them to one of her favorite spots, which is like a little, if you go down an alleyway, like almost mashed between two other buildings, there's this tiny little, like almost a cart, almost a building stuck in there that just has like the best coffee drinks. And then all in front of it, there's tiny little tables with like the arcane lights, like closely knit together, like little like
Bobbing,
string
like
lights hanging
fireflies,
above.
Yeah.
And she looks and she's like, I always come here when I know that I'm going to go out for the night so I can get some caffeine and be ready for dealing with my family making me dance. So they have everything. They've got espresso, hot chocolate. They've got hot chocolate with like cayenne pepper in it. Like, it's crazy. It's so good. It's so good. Who would have thought to do that?
Oh yeah, having melted chocolate, what a delicacy.
Also, chocolate in this world and coffee, both of these things, like in a fantasy setting like this is some expensive shit that only rich people ever have, and they're just selling it like out of like a window cafe. Where the fuck are you? Like, I think. Yeah. What the hell do you get?
Oh, Aoife drinks an oat milk, like white chocolate mocha with extra whipped cream.
Holy shit. Yeah.
You're gonna be lit.
Sugar.
I don't know. I think depending on the price of these things, Tony's just gonna be like, I think I'm okay.
No, it's on me. It's on me. I want you guys to experience it while you're here.
Well, I'll have whatever you're having, Lou. Whatever your favorite is. Thank you.
Lou is just going to get a double shot of espresso with a little crystallized sugar wand on the side.
Oh yeah, Tony has definitely never had espresso. So the sip of it at first, like her face just like yeah, I can see how this'll rile you up before a night out, I guess.
Lou takes like her half dissolved sugar wand and puts it into your cup. And she's like, just add more of that. It'll go down. If it's the first time, it's a nightmare, but then you need it after a while.
Yeah, with the sugar, it does cut through the bitterness a little bit. And yeah, I mean, the cups are so small, Tony. Also, you're like, why would anyone pay like a gold piece for this fucking tiny cup?
I finished it already.
Yeah, and then you like feel your fingers kind of start shaking. You're like, oh, it feels so amazing right now.
If you come in the morning, they have pastries to have with it, and they're just like, oh my god, layers and layers of just buttery, just delicacies. Maybe we'll come back in the morning.
Look at me.
I really want pound cake now.
Hell yeah. So all sugared up, all caffeinated. You now have wandered over towards that district where, Club Soul is. So you want to head on over there? You're probably about a 5-minute walk or so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you do, feeling all like jazzed and ready and seeing a little bit of the city. It's about 8 o'clock or so when you wander into like the street here that's just full of these different clubs. And like you might see with, big flashing neon signs, the use of magic in Chasiana, basically anywhere in the Eldrin Empire, is over the top. You're walking around and signs of, prestidigitated, curling lines of light make up all of these signs that you can see for just all down the street, every single one, flashing and twirling and glittering, trying to draw people to them. And so club after club after club, just full of just desperately attractive people, dressed to the nines, waiting outside all of these clubs. And Club Soul is no different. It's one of these, clubs right on the end on the sweet corner spot, so it, overlooks one of those main causeways that split the city in half here, so you can see, big merchant ships, even at this time of night, moving through, and the sounds of people, and the whole street around you is just lit up with these bright, gorgeous balls of light. And stretched around the block of this black brick building, you see just tons and tons of people waiting in line here for the doors to open. And Club Soul also, it's actually its sign is sort of unassuming compared to the rest here. It looks like red cursive writing, and Soul has a little flourish right underneath it that looks like a tail, with a triangle on the end. It's like a devil's tail underlining it.
Ooh. Now I suddenly had an idea in my head of what's going on.
It's Soul, SOL or SOUL?
SOUL, baby.
Oh, who could this be?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lou is just fuck this line. She's gonna go.
Wow. So it's not okay for a sword, but it is okay to get into a club.
She's not gonna mention Frida.
That's fair.
She's gonna mention Lark.
That's fair.
Yeah, she's just going to walk up to the bouncer and be like, can you let Lark know that her family's here?
And you see the bouncer is an Eldrin man with flaming red hair and sort of a reddish skin tone to match, who looks at you. And there's something odd about this person. They just move a little weird. Almost like they're uncomfortable in their own skin, as they look at you and say, "Oh, you're with Lark?"
Her
and
sister.
he leans in and looks at you, and then a moment passes, and he, undoes the velvet rope, blocking the door, and says, "You can go in."
Thank you.
I mean, we're all family here. And he smiles.
That we are. Well, ladies, come on in.
It's good to be family.
Yeah, you hear some muttering in the back of the line where people are like, "Who's that? Who are they? Who's getting in? Who's from the back."
Toni
I've been
absolutely
here for
eats it up
30
and is
minutes.
Yeah, she gives a swipe across the brim of her hat, bye, motherfuckers.
Oh, they must be famous. Who is that? I don't recognize any of them. You're hearing from the back as you stride in. And you're not the only patrons who have been let in. It's just, it seems like they're really taking their time with everybody who's being let in. And as you step into the club, there, of course, is that moment when your eyes adjust because it is so dark in here. Like any proper, high-end nightclub, there are absolutely no windows. It is dark, and there's loud music from all around you here. But it's not aggressive dance music. It is definitely more jazzy, cool, relaxed vibe. So this is nightclub meets jazz lounge is the vibe you're seeing here. So as you're stepping into the space, red arcane lights beam down from above and make everything, they cast it in this devilish sort of glow. There's lots of dark, shadowy corners in this place, and small round tables with bright blood red tablecloths, and all of it is built around this swooping room that has this beautiful stage in the corner here. And currently nobody is playing, but you can see, the setup of different instruments waiting there for the full band to come in. It's still too early in the evening for the live entertainment, so it must be music that's magically circulating through the space. But already patrons are starting to filter in. They've gotten all the tables that are up, closest to the stage at this point. You can see that a lot of the lounge seating is packed, and there's also like a balcony level where all these private booths and people can sit there. And this round curling bar swoops around the space here, and you can see the bar itself has this motif of like bones that have been stacked up against each other. So it's like skulls around it. So it's like gothy, but also like classy. It's a very weird mix. Like some of the skulls are like they're lacquered red, so they're like shiny, and you're like, whoa. And it I think it takes you a moment to realize this, not too long, but as you're seeing, the wait staff move through and people like setting up the band on stage, you suddenly realize everyone here wearing those like black and red uniforms is a tiefling. Everyone here, horns, tails, hooves, all different fiendish stripes in this place.
Well, makes sense for Lark.
Does make a lot of sense that she could get a job here. Hell yeah.
Do I think there's like enough time for us to like go in the back and see her, or is it like we should just get a seat and wait for the performance to end?
Yeah, I mean, enough people now are being let in, and like the buzz is going that live entertainment is probably going to start soon, and if you know your sister, she's going to be, front and center stage very soon. If there's anything she's good at, it's dominating the room.
Yep.
Oh, is she a dancer?
Singer.
Oh, singer.
Chanteuse.
So I guess I'll just go find whatever table is closest and like centered.
Yeah.
So that she
all the
can
good
see
ones
us.
are gone already, but you can get something pretty close to the stage. Yeah. So you all want to just take a seat?
Oh yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, mad vibes here. Has Aoife ever been in a club?
Oh God, no.
Has Toni ever been in a club?
No.
Has Lou ever been in a club? You must have. Your sister
she's been in a
must have
club.
drug you to clubs before.
Yeah, not of her free will, but she's been to a club.
Yeah, for jobs or to talk to people.
Toni's definitely overwhelmed. She's like, oh, this is a lot of fucking people in a small space. Her heart rate is going crazy because of the espresso. So she's like, well, I think I'm ready for a drink. Can I get some? I'll get the first round, I guess.
Yeah, and as soon as you say that, miraculously at your table, I think maybe you're even standing up to go to the bar, you see a red, not like a kind of red, not like the Eldrin at the door, like a red hand with long talons, like taps down at your table, and you can follow the gaze up to this very, very tall person with these curling horns that point up and back, almost like a gazelle's, standing over you, looking down with yellow eyes, and smiles at you with pointed teeth and says, "What do you have?"
Oh my.
This is clearly not an Eldrin, and maybe a tiefling, but you don't think so. Are you stunned by my good looks, or are you gonna order a drink?
Both?
That was the right answer, sugar. What can I get for you? You first.
Something flowery.
Flowery?
Okay. I'll trust your judgment. You seem like you know a lot.
Oh my God. They give a big throaty laugh. All right. Well, then I'll use my judgment and bring you something flowery.
Oh my gosh, she's like shrinking so far down into her chair.
And he looks at you, and as the yellow gaze lands on you, there's something about it that is just pulling you in, and all the corners of your body feel suddenly very warm.
glass of red.
I think I need something strong, so whatever that is.
Well, you looking for a man, a woman, something in between?
Oh, well. If that's the direction we're going.
What do you want to drink? And then we'll talk about
Air
that
out your
second
skirts,
one.
Whiskey.
All right. Whiskey, house red, something floral. And he winks at you, Aoife, and heads towards the bar.
Oh my god. Aoife, remember to use the buddy system tonight. I swear to God.
Oh, do you think he has friends?
Oh no. I'm sure he's got lots of friends. Okay. Well, I am excited. You guys don't tell her too much when you meet her, but my sister is so talented. You're going to be captivated. I'm really proud of her.
Oh, big softy Lou.
Damn, all right. Amazing. Yeah, so this gentleman comes back with your drinks. And at this point, more and more people are being let into the club, and there is, the buzz of traffic as like all the tables now are starting to be full up, and that anticipation of the show beginning to start floods across the space here. And more, the more time you spend in this place, passive perceptions. Well, actually, all of you give me a perception check. Or if you think there's something else you might use to, like, see the truth of things.
Okay.
I rolled a 1, so...
Oh, Jesus.
She is just dazzled by the red lights, the sexy fucking tea.
Yeah, like, what is
this
going
strong
on
drink,
here?
the espresso, it's all a wash.
Yeah. It's just so exciting. All of it.
Could with her background and her parents being like paid performers, could I use performance as to look for like the the structure of a show, and you can tell how well a show's going by how many people you see running around, or like
Okay. I
seeing
will give
keeping an eye out for
I will let you use performance, but I'm going to give you different information than what I would have.
Okay.
For perception. Okay. What'd you get, Lou?
I got a 17 with investigation.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
14 for performance.
Okay. So I'll start with the performance. People are clearly desperately excited to see this show. Not in a way that like a normal maybe crowd would be. There's almost something hungry, something magic, something obsessive about the way people are paying attention to everything that is happening. They are so keyed in. Every time somebody like steps on stage to like even move something, people just, you see heads turn like in unison across this place, which is, it's not normal. Unless it's like these are all diehard fans, right? This is what it feels like in this space. People are very keyed in to what is going on. And you think, by the way, like the staff is moving and stuff, you think they know it. And they're playing to it. Is like the key you're getting. Which is, I think, something Aoife is very much paying attention to. And so Lou, while Aoife's keyed into this and Toni is like in the glitz and glamour and just trying to like hold on to her shit, I think, in this situation, you are looking around at like the tiefling waitstaff and everybody else moving in this bar. And more as you look at these people, they're less like what you thought. At first, tieflings. Yeah, all of them. Like, tieflings, that's not weird. There's tons of tieflings everywhere. All good, all fine. But the more you look, the bigger the horns seem to get. And the stranger, the skin tones. And, like, they look more scaly or more clawed. Or you think you see, did that guy have wings? Like, that kind of... There's something going on here. The more time you spend looking at these people, the more apparent it is that the truth you saw when you walked in is not the actual truth of what is happening here. And nobody else seems to notice it, which is the weirdest thing. Nobody seems concerned when this, like, gigantic waiter with, like, a little bit of fire coming off of his shoulders, like, is pouring shots. It just doesn't even seem to occur to them. Like, their eyes can't see it.
This place seems very fancy, but very wrong. Are you guys getting that? Like, look at... You see that guy's on fire. He's literally on fire.
Yeah,
Tell me
Aoife
about
will
it.
lean her-
yeah, I know.
I know.
Look at those pants.
He's hot.
Oh my god.
So
Guys,
that ass is not of
focus.
this world.
My loins.
Yeah.
my loins are on fire.
Yeah.
No, Aoife will lean her head into you, like almost like foreheads almost touching, and she'll whisper, she'll say, I don't doubt your sister's talent. I'm sure she's fantastic, but look at the way that the audience is acting. It's like they're under a spell.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, I can't decide if we should go hide in the bathrooms or if we should wait and see what happens. But this is real weird. This isn't what I was expecting.
I hope your sister isn't in anything weird or dangerous.
Well,
Well,
it wouldn't surprise me, but
those are two words she loves. So,
I mean, if Lark's here, nothing bad is going to happen to us, I would think. So maybe we wait and see.
Enjoy the show.
You said,
Yeah,
and you're
eyes
like,
on the
"Ooh."
show, Aoife, not over there.
And
Do you think he'll be my buddy?
yeah,
Oh my God.
Eva, you don't know how it happened, but there's a second drink in front of you, and the first one is empty, and it was so good.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Oh.
Yeah, but you all are debating this and taking it all in, and that's when the lights go out, like until to the very barest thrum of red, and people start clapping, as performers come out on stage, and you see one by one the band filters in as the drummer and the brass and the strings, they all take their positions on stage, and there is still while the audience is excited, there is that like pause as they're like, ooh, the final piece, and finally stepping out from between the back curtains is this gorgeous tiefling woman wearing just red satin, hugging her body all the way down. It trails across the floor, and you can see arcane flames at the end of this dress trailing her as she steps up to the mic, her long blonde hair swooping to hide one of her eyes. And as your sister, Lark, walks up to that central mic, she flips her hair back, and you can see, like, all of you, this flash of, like, jade green, as where, like, a normal eye would be. There's something spinning within it. Something arcane, something strange. But it doesn't seem to bother anybody in the room, because they immediately lose it the minute she is there and stepping up, and she quietly and demurely waits for the audience to go quiet. Like a sort of a pouty gesture. And then she breaks into this song. Just the deep, throaty melodies of a woman far beyond her age who's been in every jazz lounge and seen every heartache that the world has to offer, is what she sings to this crowd for her opening song. And it is incredible. I mean, Lou, you've seen her before. You've seen her perform, but she is in the prime of her career as the song just echoes over, and it's perfect silence throughout this nightclub, which again, very weird. Just everything stops and fixates on the stage. And at the end of the song, of course, everybody breaks into applause. It's all amazing. And she says, out to the audience, "It's such a pleasure that you all are here joining us tonight. But I have to say, I've got somebody very, very special in the audience. My sister, ladies and gentlemen. And like claps, and there's like a spotlight that goes whip and lands right on your table on the three of you. Now, all of you out there, I know what you're thinking. Her sister, desperately gorgeous. It runs in the family. And you know, she is single, so keep that in mind. And the audience like laughs. And she's like, "This one's for you, sweetheart," and looks right at you and gives you a wink with her not cursed eye, and breaks into.
Lou holds up a middle finger.
Yeah. She's right back, right on the stage, right at you, and
with a gloved hand.
Yeah. The satin, satin black like finger comes up. And she breaks into yet another song, and the spotlight carries off your table.
Thank God.
But you know, that opening song was like the moment that everybody was enchanted and captivated. And with that, you know, that little break in that second song, things have like chilled out a little bit more. So people are moving around the space and talking, and she is doing more of like the entertainment background set. But yeah, so you all seen that at this point.
Oh, like Lou's face is still just bright red right now. like joy, fury, and embarrassment all in one.
Your sister's always been really good at that.
Yeah. Well, when we shared a room those years, nightmare. She just is like, well, that's her. She's amazing. Do we want to let's grab a drink maybe and go wait in the back for her? And we can catch up with her when she's done. Because if I have to stand out here where all these people just looked at me for a minute, and everyone in this fucking room,
and everyone in this room looks horny. Everyone in this room looks horny. So who even knows?
Lou. I don't know. I would not pass up this opportunity. I mean, tell me, how long has it been?
Oh.
How long has it been, Lou?
10 years.
10
years. And
favor.
You know what?
Let's just
I'm
enjoy the show.
totally fine.
We don't need to talk to anyone. Let's just sit back and drink. You don't know how many encores might happen. We gotta sit back there all night. We got all dressed up. We made hats.
You did make hats.
I'm ready for death. Right now, she just feels so stupid in her stupid rose witch hat with the big bow under her chin. Okay, we'll stay out here. It's fine, but I'm gonna need another glass of wine. Hey.
Right there, and you know, you feel a whoosh right behind you as like somebody is there, and you swear you felt like the flick of a tail like move past, you know, your thigh as this red-skinned waiter from before is standing there like, oh, another round, and he looks at you, Aoife, and makes like a little kissy face.
Oh my God, sir. Please, sir. She is 17.
One of her buttons just opens up when he does that.
I'm very mature for my age, you know. She flicks her hair back.
You know, I've always had a thing for girls with hooves. Sue me.
She's just like because she's already tipsy, and she is just, and with with the coffee and with the like what today has been, and she's like so pink.
Oh God, this is the danger zone.
Oh, it is. I mean, what gave it away?
Everything. Literally everything. Sir, thank you for giving my young friend here the time of her life, but if you could bring that wine back.
Oh, she hasn't had the time of her life yet.
Wow.
Eyebrow.
How old are you, sir?
Well, that's rude to ask.
I'm not polite.
Old enough to know better. Fine. What would you like, madam?
Sir, I would love another glass of wine, if you don't mind.
Fantastic. And for you? You, he says as he looks at you, Tony. As if he's seeing you now fully. And you feel his eyes looking at you up and down as he smiles.
She returns the scan with her eyes and says, another whiskey.
Excellent. I like this table. Well, most of this table. And he flicks off towards the back. And returns very shortly with your drinks. Oh yeah, go for
it. You guys need like 10 chaperones. You're incorrigible.
Aoife, I think you ought to leave a clover behind for him.
For inspiration?
Maybe some inspiration.
Oh, I think I better knit one for myself.
There you go. And eventually he comes back very quickly and puts down your drinks, and there's also a little paper card that has been folded on the tray. And he puts it down on the table and says, well, you three really must be special. The boss wants to see you. He doesn't see a lot of people, so it's quite an honor. But after you're done with business, if you're ever interested in knowing what a devil's three-way is, just come and find me. And he winks again and wanders off.
Oh my god.
Aoife immediately looks at Tony like, game?
Tony's a little confused, like, it's not where I thought we were going.
Well.
Let's look at this little delightful little card.
Well, why don't you just tuck that into one of your pockets there?
Oh, sorry, the card is from the boss.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Lou,
Yeah,
what do you know about this
yeah.
boss? Has Lark told you much about them?
Lark hasn't said much about him. I haven't really been able to talk to her. Mom says that he can help us out and has access to get a lot of weird shit, which it seems like we're gonna need to do this bonding thing. So I don't know. Not really sure to what to expect, but if he's anything like his establishment, we should probably be on our guard for any kind of devious behavior and maybe STDs.
Well, since we don't know what we're looking for yet, I don't think there's any real way that we could request, without giving away what it's for. And so I feel like once we get a list from Rook, then we can, figure it out. Because if he knows what that could be for, then he knows anyway. But if we just list things, he might not. I don't like him maybe knowing where we live.
Fair.
Maybe I do, but I'm not really sure.
I just want to peek at the card before I put it away because we really don't know what we need yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're just here maybe to say hello, let him know we'll be collecting Frida's favor soon once we know what we need,
Yeah.
But we really don't know what we need, so.
Well, I mean, if he's inviting us, though, shouldn't we be polite, accept the invitation, say hello, and then mention all that we'll be back?
Yeah. Well, what does the card say anything in particular, or is it just like a business card?
Yeah, so you can flip it open, and it's just a very small piece of paper, so it's a very brief note that has been scrawling beautiful handwriting. Says, friends of Lark, I hear you're at my establishment in need of some supplies. I can certainly help. Come talk to me in my office. Just present this card. Signed, Mr. B.
Okay. Well, we may as well say hello since we'll be doing business together shortly. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, yeah, you all have this invitation to go to the back of the club and meet Mr. B while your sister is still performing on stage. It does seem, I mean, she's only, maybe song 3 in her set, so Lark is going to be up there for quite a while. So if y'all want to head to the back, this is probably prime time to do so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go meet the boss.
Shall we?
Yeah, with drinks in hand.
Lou is gonna bring her wine with her.
Yeah, for sure. It's feeling like that.
It's
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do. Y'all get up and immediately your table is like occupied by somebody else as you head towards the back. Here, because you can see there are people who, couldn't get a table drifting around, like fixated on the stage, just like waiting, for the next song to start. And so you all head off towards the back, that area where like, yeah, probably the bathrooms and stuff are back there somewhere. You start heading back there and like into a long, dark hallway with a bunch of doors leading off to other places. And you head down towards the back and look around, and you see at the very end of the hall there is this gigantic blue-skinned fiendish thing, like very clearly not even trying to be like humanoid at this point anymore, sort of crouched over, and you can see their skin is just a mess of like barbs that almost look like shards of ice that have grown out of each and every pore. And they look at you and say, what are you doing back here? The bathroom's around the corner.
We've got permission to see Mr. B. Hand him the piece of paper.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. And he just, stands aside and, like, with his long claws, turns the doorknob deftly and, like, stands politely out of the way. By all means.
Thank you. Scuttle on in.
If he gives you any trouble, you just call me, okay?
Sure. Thank you. What's your name?
My name? It's and he, like, looks for a minute, like he's trying to remember, and then looks down at his shirt. Alfred is what my name is. As he looks at his name tag that's been pinned to this black uniform that he's wearing. That is my name here.
Thank you, Alfred.
In the club and everywhere Yep.
Thank you.
Aoife looks like, I think maybe we have to use the Fey rule, like saying, what'll we call you, rather than what your name is, it seems.
Oh, yeah, sure. I also don't think you can pronounce it. Or, I mean, no, my real name is... Anyway, you should go in and see the boss if you have an appointment. He's a very busy man.
Sure. Alfred.
Yeah.
See you later on the way out.
That's my name. All right. Yep. Ushers you in. And the door closes gently behind you. And you've stepped into a room that is very different than the club you've been in so far, which has been, very much going for a look and a vibe and like a sexy theme. And like this room is very different. It's very bright for one, like optimal for like reading, you would say. That is the level of light in this room. And wooden bookshelves line the walls. And this room almost looks more like a study or like a library that somebody very rich might have in their house. And as you step onto the ground, there's beautiful marble floor. You can see elegant couches that are probably never meant to be sat on, but meant to be appreciated from a distance in each corner of the room. Like strange artifact statues, little, like a globe of the world, that kind of shit, looking around this space. And, classical music comes from somewhere, which is strange in the middle of everything. And at the far end of this room, there's a very large oak desk. And sitting behind it, you see a fiend, not even trying to hide themselves or what they are, not wearing any clothing. Their skin is like a grayish, almost blue leathery texture, and they've got long pointed ears and a long like pointed nose, and they've got a little pair of spectacles that they keep pushing up with like the 3 fingers of their taloned hands, sitting in this chair here, completely bald. For those of you who've been in campaign 1 or seen this before, very familiar figure. And he looks up, pushes the spectacles, and says, hello, it's so good to see you. My name is Bartleby. Welcome to my club. Please. Steps forward with a crooked talon for you to sit in the chairs that have been neatly arranged in front of his desk. Come now. I don't have all night.
Yeah, Aoife will sit very neatly in the chair.
Lou sits down as well.
Mm-hmm. Take a seat.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you here. I hear you're friends of Frida's. Lark is quite a gem. We're very lucky to have her.
You are. She's the best. Don't tell her I said that. But
of course. Though I think she already knows.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's definitely true. Who am I kidding? So we're here. We are going to soon be in the need of some interesting components.
Yes.
We're not yet sure what they are. We're trying to get a list
ritual
together.
of some kind, yes.
Perhaps, but I don't know an official name.
Well,
I'm sorry. So you're just really in the middle of Chasiana. But how is this happening? Like, what are you? How much do I know about fiends?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what? Yeah, he's looking at you, sort of waiting for you to spin yourself out of questions. Yeah, why don't you go ahead? You can give me like general arcana or like history or. I don't think nature is applicable.
That's a 19 plus 4, 23.
Okay.
For history.
Oh shit! All right, so you would probably know quite a bit. I think probably your drow background would have taught you more about fiends than anything else, though you realize that might be a colored perspective. So fiends are like fae or like gods. They are beings from a plane different than the material plane. Like, where you are in the Eldrin Empire, the material plane, populated by mortals, the rules of, like, life and death apply here, and it's all, cool and good and whatever. But fiends, for example, just like fae or just like gods, are creatures where if you kill them here and they're influencing here, they just come the fuck back, like, on their planes, and they can just come back. And so they are here to mess around with mortals. In the plane setting, specifically this homebrew world we're playing in, fiends are not nearly as big a problem as they are, I think, in other settings like Faerun or, your standard D&D settings, because they honestly aren't as interested in the day-to-day lives of mortals. Just getting what they need, getting in, getting out, making a warlock pact here or there, like, all good. But yeah, they were very much something else. And generally that there is some kind of struggle between demons and devils. Like, they don't get along. One's chaotic, one's lawful, whatever. They're bad news, just pretty much across the board, and it's better to avoid them because they like souls, something like that. So they're always bargaining, and they're bad news for the most part. You also know they're very magical and very devious, and like any other extraplanar creature, like getting into the material plane, it can mean trouble for mortals wherever they go. So it is pretty weird just to see, a fiend openly operating a nightclub that seems very popular in a bunch of, like, Eldritch citizens who are very anti-fae and, like, anti-anything else from anywhere else. They're just here, paying a lot of money to enjoy it.
when did this club open? And how'd you get the permits?
Oh, I'm excellent at paperwork. I must be upfront with you, since you are a friend of a friend. I am a demon of knowledge, and I do make quite a bit of my business providing answers to questions. So I'm happy to answer your questions, but there is a fee to any I might answer. I'm just making you aware of that before we start answering things.
Yeah, Tony wants to interject here, like putting a very soft, gentle hand onto Lou's shoulder, just saying, "Yeah, well, mostly we wanted to come back and say hello and actually introduce ourselves, show you our faces, get to actually meet you. We're very much enjoying your club. You've set up a fine establishment.
Thank you.
And we look forward to working with you soon once we actually know what we need."
Well, it is interesting you say that. As I mentioned before, demon of knowledge. I know quite a bit of things. You have come into the city recently in possession of some kind of magical traveling vehicle, which I'm very interested in, but again, we will not trade answers for answers unless there is an even agreement. So you've come in here with this vehicle that is parked 2 hours or so outside of the city. Invisible to mortal eyes, which is again fascinating. I will not ask. You need some kind of ritual, and you have this being staying with you, seemingly mortal, but affected by something very curious. So I asked myself, what is it that they could possibly need? I have a few ideas. I might even have the rituals you may need. Certainly the ingredients to go with the right one. And certainly, with all of these answers and solutions I have, I could offer them as a bargaining chip. For there is something I also need that I think the three of you would be uniquely qualified to provide. Say, for example, I mean, this is all theoretical, hypothetical, of course, unless we were willing to make a deal. He nods and pushes up his glasses
obviously,
once again.
Before we make any deal, we'd want to know what that thing we're uniquely qualified for is.
Well, I shall share this information with you as an act of good faith.
Appreciate it.
You may not be aware, but Fae activity absolutely extends beyond the border of the wilds. Certainly the Eldrin in this foolish empire have no idea how much is working beneath their noses, or they prefer not to see it, sort of like this club of mine. It is amazing what mortals refuse to see every single day. But there is a chapter here operating in the city of Chasiana. Far below it, they have something of mine that I would like retrieved. I have made a deal with them in exchange for this evening. In fact, I go down there, I give them something they want, they return the thing they took from me. That will be the end of the deal. I'm expressly forbidden to bring a mortal help. But the Fae have a remarkable way of underestimating mortals. And since you all have so clearly dealt with the Fae in multiple capacities, in fact, you can even see us for what we are, which is truly remarkable, I think the three of you would be appropriate bodyguards to accompany me on this deal. For certainly the Fae are going to try and betray me. I'm a demon of knowledge, not an idiot.
Well, I mean, all we have to do is fight it out that's something I'm comfortable doing.
Yes, there's a chapter here, the Slithering Court. You probably have no idea what that is. But anyway, one of their courtiers has made himself quite a big deal in the city. And in response to my activities, they took something precious to me. And I hope to get it back. But again, I have no illusions that this will be much more complicated than they imply. It always is so with the Fae. Chaotic little things.
We've learned some things about the Slithering Court. I think we would be willing to come to terms on a deal.
Good. Well, if you
Tell
agree
me
to
how
the
you
deal,
feel
I'm
about it.
certainly willing to provide you with any information you may need to know about the court in order to make this transaction mutually agreeable. I know a great many things.
Well, I'm personally happy to assist you because I've had my own run-ins with the Slithering Court.
Mhm.
Don't care for them much.
Indeed. Then you survived. Remarkable.
What is it you were doing that upset them so much?
Oh, it's like all of us beings who live forever. It's the struggles over your little mortal land and your little mortal reality and who controls your little mortal minds. It's all politics. What? He looks at you honestly and shrugs. At least I'm honest about it. You won't get the same deal from the Fae.
He's not wrong.
It's still a little rude, but I do appreciate it much more than the other option.
Yes. I figured you might. Especially since the things you need to help your friend and bind you to that house are quite expensive.
Okay, so all right. There's just no secrets here, eh?
Are we giving off some sort
Okay.
of vibe here that you seem to know all this, or are you seem to be well connected as well?
You know, it's not you. I just know everything. It's sort of what I do.
Okay, makes sense.
Is that just the most wonderful thing? That sounds incredible.
I'm not complaining.
Well, I'm in. Are the rest of you in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Rook would like it if we got another job.
Rook.
I
Interesting.
think I would like it if she were conscious. So hopefully she'll be able to wake up and we'll just have everything that she needs taken care of. And we'll be good.
Said that name.
He
with-
made a sound when you said everything she needs taken care of also, by the way.
Yeah, Tony did clock the familiarity when he heard that name. So you seem familiar with Rook.
Perhaps. Would you like to trade something for more information about that?
What would you have in mind for that?
Tony.
Well, give me some questions you might ask. I won't give you any answers. Yet. But I'm sure we can make a contract and arrange things. I'll give you a price, you give me the goods. What questions would you ask
Tony,
of this?
we could just get to know her better.
Oh, but there's so much more to her than you will ever be able to fix on your own. There is something wrong with her, isn't there?
Yes, there's definitely something wrong with her.
If only you had a demon of knowledge.
Partially
to help.
can be fixed with therapy, but
Well, why don't you give
I
me
don't
some time to
feel
think about
comfortable.
I'm not quite sure what my own questions are, but
That is always the first step to knowledge. Actually learning your own questions.
But for now, you do
Well,
have our help, it seems, as bodyguards.
Brilliant.
Are we doing that tonight or?
Yes. At midnight, I have to meet the court. So you all should finish those. He's looking at those drinks. And perhaps getting to something a little more suitable. The Slithering Court has a loving tendency to occupy sewers, dark places, dank pits. They seem to enjoy it, honestly.
My favorite adjectives.
It's quite vile, yes. So, I'm sorry, what did you ask, Katie?
Oh, I just said those are not my favorite adjectives.
Yes.
mhm.
So, as charming as you all look in your evening wear, I would need you to suit up.
Certainly.
Should we meet you back here?
Fair enough.
No, I will meet you at Bucatini's, is it not? He looks at you, Lou.
Well, you seem to know everything, so yes.
I know what happens in most of your little plane. It's so small, it's so fragile. And I have so much time. But anyway, I shall meet you nearby there, at the intersection of the main causeways. There's a sewer grate I think will be suitable to our purposes. We will be heading straight down, winding through the tunnels there, meeting them at their nest. The Duke of Pudding. Have you heard of him?
No.
I'm intrigued, though.
Well, it's much more disgusting than whatever you think is about to happen. So, but
Oh.
a deal is a deal. And he opens up a drawer on the side of his table and puts down a scroll in front of you. This is the ritual that will bond you to that hag's house. And then pulls open another drawer on his left and like reaches in and takes a bag out and puts it in front of you. Everything you will need to conduct the ritual.
Thank
Great.
you.
Yes.
Well, we'll see you right before midnight then.
I will give you one free bit of advice in the meantime. Watch your back with this rook. She's much more than she seems to be.
I already kind of figured that, but thank you for your concern.
Don't call it concern, call it professional interest. But until then, I shall see you. 11 o'clock, let's say. Not that great. Probably just enough time to run home. Perhaps get another coffee. He looks at Toni meaningfully. And then meet for a bit of adventure.
Well, tell Lark that I said she was great, and I'll see her later.
Yes. Don't let anything distract you on the way out. They're all hungry for souls. It's in the name.
Yeah, guys, let's focus and get out of here.
Aoife just like puts her hands like over on her brows as if to shield sunlight or to
Yeah.
create blinders
Don't
for
wanna look at it.
herself.
Don't want to look at that. Yeah. So
Oh, brother.
you head out of Mr. B's office.
Yes.
Indeed.
With a goodbye to Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred says, "Oh, bye. Hope you're back soon. Nice meeting you. Glad you didn't
He's
fight."
like the nicest fiend I've ever met.
Yeah, man.
So polite.
Toni winks at the waiter.
As he heads out and he watches you go and says, "Well, I'm always here, eternally, If you're ever lonely, I also do house calls.
Oh, God.
You drift out the door.
Oh my. Go home, take a cold shower,
you head
and
out in
get
the
changed
night.
into armor.
The air, the balmy air.
Whew.
It's like, it's still warm outside, but boy, was it hot in there? It was really hot in there.
Oh, everyone practice safe packs.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm glad to be out of that place.
Aoife pulls out a fan and is fanning herself.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
We'll have to go to another club sometime that's not this one.
Yes, Tony says very loudly in agreement. Yes, we do.
Oh my god, yes. What?
Well, we gotta go change, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Head back to the house.
Woo.
Grab our gear.
Oh yeah. So you head back to the
Boot up,
house,
squad.
and yeah, probably this time it's 9ish when you like leave the club. So you probably after having to take a few boats, everything get through the city. Around 10 or so when you finally get back to the house. So you have about an hour to get in, change, grab your shit. You can see that things at Bucatini have been booming because it dinner hours, and let's call it's like a Friday or a Saturday night at this point, so people are still it's well past the dinner rush, but like everything is still very active as couples and just people out for the evening celebrating with friends are just lingering and those big tables ordering more and more crafts of wine. So as you pass through the doors, mom waves at you from beyond and in the middle of like dealing with a bunch of other customers, and everything is moving and happening. So as you make your way up the stairs, nobody really bothers you, and you do make your way up there, and as soon as you pass through the doors, Lou, you hear like a thump, like a from inside your bedroom, like somebody threw something against the closed door.
Oh. I'm gonna run on over and open it up.
Yeah, and you do, and you see a very sweaty Rook, like lying in bed, under blankets, and one of your shoes, or one of Jada's leather boots, so you always leave by the door, has been like hucked, like at it, and she's like on her side, like panting, and she looks fucking terrible, but she's conscious. And you can see she's putting weight on her arm. You. Hey. Hey! She's yelling, like, from the bed.
Yes, hi! Lou just, like, runs up.
Yeah.
And, like, goes to, like, embrace, but then just kind of, like, steps back and just, like, pats her arm.
Yeah, and you're looking at, I mean, she is, like, the feverish, like after somebody has had morphine from a major surgery and it's just starting to kind of wear off, and so she's like not quite in, not quite out, but she's looking at you sort of like a feral cat. She's looking at you and she like extends a hand upwards, like towards you, like trying to grab at you.
Lou just holds out her hand.
Yeah, and she like pulls you, and she's not at full strength yet, but like surprisingly forceful. She pulls you closer to her.
Hi.
Is everyone alive?
Uh-huh.
What happened? Where are we? Who is that woman? There was a woman and there was a light. What did you do? She says, she looks at you and she's got wild, like, fever eyes.
Oh my gosh. Somebody hold her hands and explain while I go get a cold rag and water and everything.
Yeah. You see, who the sister is in here before. She's clearly long gone. You don't see the bag or anything around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aoife will run up and offer her some water and food from before that I'm sure has been lying around, and we'll say, you came back. We did the job. We got paid. Everything went well. You got back around like 2 a.m, and you were beat to shit. And we there are these dream dragon creatures that came and brought this celestial fae giant thing that Whistler, he had shoved his bell down that creature's throat, and you managed to give the order for us to head to Chasiana and get the fuck out of there, because he was probably nearby. And Toni carried you. We left the hut a couple hours outside of the city, and Toni carried you in and brought you here to Lou's family's place, and they got a cleric to come and to restore your arm. And good news, we have the ritual and all of the supplies to bond us to the house now. We just have to go play bodyguard for a devil.
And you can tell while you've been saying this, I don't think you need an insight check to figure out. Rook has been like fading in and out of paying attention to things, but certain things have like stirred her to respond in this. So she heard very keywords. Like she was listening kind of, and then you said like Whistler, and she makes like a nodding, like a fearful nod of recognition. Like she can't handle that. She can't handle that name right now. And like kept kind of listening to what you were saying, and like, those dream creatures. And again, it was sort of like a nod of recognition. And by the time you say like, helping with the devil, she's out, but she's like, cool, you got the ritual. I was like nodding. And she said, she grabs you, Aoife, real close, and she said, they set the arm. It's all, are you gonna be okay?
She thinks so. With the rate at which you grow, that will probably help with the healing, hopefully. But
this stupid body.
You'll have use of
it. I
it.
hate this stupid body. It's so broken. How do you live like this? She opens her eyes like wide, like burning with fever, and sweat is trailing down her face, and looks at you. How do you live like this?
Oh, a bit miserably. I imagine. Is Toni or Lou in the room at this moment?
Yeah, Toni's probably in the
Lou's
room.
probably
Okay.
Lou's downstairs getting more cold water and towels and stuff for her fever.
Yeah, then she just says, yeah, a bit miserably, but most of the time it's a lot easier when you don't age literally overnight.
Yeah, not sure how that compares, really.
I feel it dying. Every second, it dies. It dies. Every day. And then you do it again. And I don't understand how you live. I think I'm gonna... I just can't. And her eyes kind of roll back in her head, and she like collapses back onto the bed. Out of it.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Questions for later.
What the fuck?
I think
What
just
does that mean?
Lou pops back in and she's like, oh, she's gone again. Oh, and just like replaces the towel on her forehead.
Yeah.
Aoife just like looks at you and just like kind of shakes her head as like, she's such a weird one.
Yeah.
Then she'll convey what Rick said.
I mean, I'm hoping that if she remembers that she told us this information about the situation with her body, that she'll open up to us about the rest of it when she can stay conscious. Maybe we can help her.
I don't know. She said something about getting up and doing it again, so maybe this isn't the first time she's had to do this.
I don't know.
Well, she's out now. How much time do we got?
Yeah, you got like 40 minutes or so before you have to meet.
Yeah.
Meet Barbara. In the spot, I mean, Lou, he was talking about, you know exactly where it is. It's, you know, right around the corner, basically, from the restaurant.
We will just go over to like the corner where they set all their stuff and just pick up Tony's armor and like hold it out like, need a hand?
How tall are you?
Yeah,
She's not that
something.
short. She's like 5'7".
Okay.
Ish.
my height.
Well, yeah. She goes, well, thank you. And like, crouches into it. Helps you with whatever it is you need. You mind if I
So many
make a
buckles.
pot of coffee or something? I don't know if you guys have that here, but yeah, I think I may have drank those whiskeys a little too fast.
So much happening. There's just
Well,
so flashy.
we don't. She's like, if you go downstairs in the kitchen, there's a drawer. It'll be like kind of shoved in to the very back corner, and that's where the good stuff is. And if you just grab a drip situation, I can make you some up here and some hot water.
Thank you. And she'll flop downstairs and go get the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you head down there, and yeah, you make your way through like the bustling restaurant and everything, and make your way towards the kitchen, which is like a full scale, you know, restaurant kitchen. So it's definitely difficult to see where you're going or what exactly you're looking for, but you know, the staff running around is really helpful about pointing you in the right places and stuff. So you find that little like side area where, you know, the beverage carts are, and you start making yourself some coffee. And Tony, why don't you make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, 23.
Holy shit. So
Ooh,
as you're making coffee, it's one of those things. Have you ever fainted in real life, Nasim?
Like near, almost,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's exactly that experience where you feel the world suddenly spins and like, you know, you're like, I'm about to go down, and you can like, you get just enough time as you realize that to like take a knee and kind of like lean against the counter here as everything blacks out for you. And it starts with a sound. Something, it's all black that you see in your mind, and the rolling of something like glass, like a marble, at a long empty hallway, just the scooting and scratching across the tile. And you hear a voice, and once again you realize you're dreaming. It doesn't make any sense. You're not asleep, or you don't think you are, but it's a very familiar voice in triplicate as you hear the Weird Sisters say, "It's time to come back. We need to call in a favor. It's time to call in that favor. Come back. Bring your friends. As soon as you can. We'll be waiting." And the marble scratch, scratch, scratch across the ground, and you hear it shatter. And in an instant, you wake up and you're on the ground, and like several waitstaff from the kitchen are leaning over you like, "Oh, you okay?" And somebody's like putting a cold compress, you know, against your face. And you realize the dreams aren't limited anymore to when you're asleep. They seem to be able to make you dream wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And that's where we're going to end for today. That's the end of this episode. two whole ass episodes of no combat and very little rolling. We're doing Venture Maidens. Hey, everybody.
We're in it.
We're in it. We're getting deep in it. Some plots are rolling, kids.
Fucking love Chasiana, though.
This just means,
It's cool here.
oh my god.
Yeah. Want to live here forever.
It's my favorite. I was like reading through about both of the cities from like little peeks of the book, and I was like, Phelan, Chasiana.
It totally is that like New York versus like almost like Chicago feeling. You know, you look at these cities are like New York versus Boston, like just such different cultural vibes. And you can understand why, like, you know, Phelan, oh my god, that's like capital of the world, where like the business, like government, and like blah, 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 and like where the Saurian is, and it's a very big, scary, intense place to be. Whereas Chasiana is also, I mean, scary. There's a lot going on, but it's a little bit more subtle. You know, there are a few more layers to it. So it's cool.
It's the cultural capital.
Cool. It is the cultural capital.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 13 of the Venture Maidens. If you liked the show, please do like, subscribe, do the thing. It really means the world to us when you give a like, give a follow us on social media at Venture Maidens everywhere. Tell somebody, about the show. We grow our audience primarily through word of mouth. So, recommending this to your friends, to your DMs, to your enemies, to your neighbors is the best way for us to grow the show. So thank you for all of that. And of course, if you really like the show, you should go ahead and check us out on Patreon. Patreon is this awesome website where you can donate monthly to your favorite creators and get some cool rewards in exchange. So if you head to patreon.com/venturemaidens, you can check out all the awesome options available to you fine folks. And, donate even just as little as $1 a month gets you access to hundreds and hundreds of hours of bonus episodes and content, coloring book pages, magic items. It is seriously a steal. And you can also donate annually if you don't want to do like monthly donations. You can do like one time. I think it's also discounted too. So like $11 for a whole year for free for hours of beautiful content. What a bargain. What a bargain. You know what? You'll never get that bargain from the Fae or the Fiends. So like go on over to
Truly.
Patreon. Do it. You have to sell your soul for that shit usually. Not here. We're here for you. So this episode is airing on the 9th. Anything other than Nassim, your show is live right now, right?
Yeah, right about now. We
Right
would
now.
have been open for about a week.
Oh my god.
I am doing a show right now at Act Seattle. It's called Hotter Than Egypt by Yusuf El Gindi. It is a world premiere, a brand new show. It is so good. And if you want to come see it, if you're in the Seattle area, please do. We will also be performing in the spring in the Bay Area, but I'm not sure if the live stream, I've learned recently that the show will be live streamed at some point for COVID reasons. So if you're not in the area, you can still catch it. I'm not totally sure as of right now when that's happening. Probably not yet. Probably, anyway, closing day is on the 20th of February. So we're still in the run at this point.
Yeah, and we will post links, of course, in the chat. So look right now. We're going to be posting links about how you can watch that live stream or support Nassim. Hell yeah. Any other news for the 9th February when this episode comes out? No? I think
so. Yeah.
I think that's it. So thank you all so much for joining us, for the support. We love you all. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the, episode 14 with this fun romp with a blast from the past character, everyone's favorite, Bartleby, who I'm sure you all love as much as I do. So let's dive in.
I love him.
It'll be great. I love him. I think he's great.
I fucking knew it.
I know you're
Let
like
me just say,
you're
I
like
fucking knew
Mr.
it.
B immediately. You're like Bartleby. I was like, DM. Yeah, of course. All right, but that's it. That's all we got for you tonight. So until next
thank
time.
yous.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Wait, thank yous.
Oh yes, and of course, speaking of Patreon, we always like to thank our Patreon donors. Thank you so much, Katie, for reminding me. Let's go around, and we like to thank the people who donate at the $25 or higher month tier per month. Because really, folks, like, these are the people who open their hearts and just give so much to, like, it takes a lot of work and effort to make this show. And the fact that people are here and willing to show up and donate this much, like, God, you guys, you rock. Seriously. So thank you so much to Cody Becker at Cody Rolls 4 on Twitter.
Thank you to Debbie.
Thank you to Curry.
Thank you to Muffin at the one on Drury Lane on Twitter.
Thank you so much, Nissa McCannon.
Thank you, Richie113 from our Discord.
And from our newer, more affordable
the $25
tier,
tier.
the $25 tier, Pharaoh's Drinking Mates, Chris, thank you.
And of course, thank you, Kevin.
Oh my God, you guys rock. That's it. That's all we got for you.
Thank you.
And so, until next time, everybody, venture away! Venture away, everybody! Christ, I'm glad you fucking
That was
did it.
so
Yeah, we're
cute.
pulling out our mics. All right, bye.